I'm going to show you a clip of Dr. Zhang. He predicted that the white supremacists would have been reelected, and he also predicted last year that we would go to war with Iran. And the end game is what we all think it is. It is to steal the next election. Listen to him and then let's talk.
So this is the key question. Why do they do this? I think there are three possibilities, okay? And I think all three possibilities are valid. The first is the idea of hubris. If you look at history, this is how empires behave. So the Mindoro kidnapping was quick, successful, and it was adrenaline rush for Trump. And that made him overconfident in the capacity of the American military, okay? So hubris is a factor, and we see this throughout history. Why did Hitler invade Stalin? Because he conquered Europe really easily, and he thought it was invincible, right? And that led to the destruction of the German army in the Soviet Union. So hubris is a factor. Then you have to look at internal political calculus, where even though America does not benefit from this war against Iran, Trump himself personally benefits. Why? Because the Saudis and the Israelis are bribing him to attack Iran. Remember that the Saudis invested $2 billion in the private equity fund of Jared Kushner, who is the son-in-law of Donald Trump. And the Israelis, through Miriam Adelson, have been financing Trump's political career, right? So Miriam Adelson, a few months back, said that she will put up $250 million if Trump were to run a third term. So Trump is getting a lot of financial and political support from the Saudis and Israelis. Also remember that if this war goes sideways and Trump is forced to use ground troops, he will probably get approval from Congress, and this will give him emergency war powers, which will allow him to influence the midterms. So Trump is thinking about a third term. And I think at the ballot box, he probably won't get it. But if there's a war going on and you can delay elections and you have emergency war powers and people rally around the flag, then he probably will get a third term.
Everything that he said was completely spot on. The white supremacist in the White House is going to try to steal this election. Listen to Caroline Leavitt.
President Trump has talked twice in recent days, once at the Kennedy Center and then to Reuters again last night, about canceling the election. Why is he talking about this?
I believe you're referring to the president's interview at Reuters last night. I was in that interview. It was a closed-door interview. Obviously, there was not audio or video. The president was simply joking. He was saying, we're doing such a great job. We're doing everything the American people thought. Maybe we should just keep rolling. But he was speaking facetiously.
You said that he was joking about canceling the elections, but Americans for generations have fought and died for democracy, for this democracy. Are you saying that the president finds the idea of canceling elections funny?
Andrew, were you in the room? No, you weren't. I was in the room. I heard the conversation.
Oh, he's just kidding about stealing an election. You know him. You know the guy that rapes women and molests children and defends child molesters. Oh, he would never try to steal an election. That's ridiculous. I was there. God told me what to say. You weren't there. Fake news. Yeah, he still hasn't even acknowledged the last election that he lost because he got his ass beat because his fragile little micro penis ego was just too hurt, right? Yeah, just kidding. And here we are, sleepwalking into it, with one party that is actively endorsing and supporting the end of democracy, and we have another party, the Democratic Party, that's just sitting by saying, there's nothing I can do, just vote for me in 10 months. If we have a democracy, I guess you're not going to have a choice. And there is only one way. There is only one way to stop this. But the reality is, and I'm just going to be real, because Martin Luther King said that a leader is not a searcher of consensus, they're a molder of consensus. A general strike is the only way to stop this. It's it. It's the only way. But you know what? You know what the reality is? Is that too many white people in this country are unwilling to be uncomfortable. I got to work. I got bills to pay. Yeah, no shit. We all got bills to pay. You think this is free? Nobody just gave me this. I don't have a damn money tree. I got bills to pay. I got a job. I got insurance. I got food. I got a mortgage. We all got bills to pay. but y'all are sitting in your life of luxury. You know what's fascinating about this? Is that there was a time when black people couldn't even sit in a damn restaurant with white people and they had to protest. John Lewis was almost beat to death just for crossing a damn bridge for wanting to vote. Martin Luther King was murdered, thrown in solitary confinement, shot multiple times, bombs put on his porch just for wanting to be equal to a white man. Claudette Colvin, at 15 years old, a black girl, sat on a bus and got arrested just for wanting to be equal. And white people, what are you doing? Oh, I have to work. I have bills to pay. I just can't imagine suffering and being uncomfortable. And that's why we're here. And too many white people think that protesting at the No Kings protest, let's be perfectly real about what it is. I'm going to go to it. It doesn't do shit. It is a white participation trophy. I want you to go and ask the 92%. Go ask any of them if what I'm saying is wrong. And they're going to laugh at you like, you think you know how to protest? Bitch, please. You ain't know nothing because you're not willing to be uncomfortable. You would rather watch everybody else get treated like crap, to lose their jobs, to be homeless, people getting murdered in the streets like Renee Good, concentration camps, and you're just like, there's nothing I can do because I have to go to work. That's why America's going to fall. And in part, that's why we're here as a country. Because since 1619, I would even say going back to 1549, white people have stood by and watched it happen because it didn't affect them. We're the problem. Whether you like it or not, that's too bad. And yeah, I know what I look like. I'm not stupid most days. Are you posting online? Are you talking to friends? Are you bringing it up to family? Are you talking to coworkers? Oh no, you don't want to get political? That's white privilege. Because you have the privilege to shut your mouth and ignore it. Because you know that the color of your skin is going to keep you safe from what's happening. And that's exactly why we got this rapist in the White House. Because 77 million people saw the white man and he got a free pass for rape, sexually assaulting 25 women, having dinner with white supremacists, very fine people on both sides, not running to black people, being a felon, committing tax fraud and insurrection, still didn't acknowledge the results of the last election. 5 officers died after January 6th. 4 took their own lives almost a year to the date after January 6th. He even insulted John McCain, who was a prisoner of war, and y'all said, you know what? I just can't vote for the black woman. I don't like her laugh. She slipped her way to the top. I don't like her policies. Because you're racist as fuck. That's why we're here. Because y'all just wanted the white man. You would rather burn this country to the ground than have a black woman. Then you know what? Then so be it. But just remember this. That your silence led us here today. We will not remember the words of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends. Evil succeeds when white people do nothing. And I'll leave you with this quote, and I'll modify it because this was from Nazi Germany. First, they came for the immigrants, but I wasn't an immigrant, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for the trans people, but I was a trans, so I didn't say anything. And then they came for the black people, but I didn't say anything since 1619, so I didn't say anything. And then they came for me. And there was nobody left to speak up for me. Have a good day. I'm sorry. Have a white day.